Welcome to Jasper High School. The Jasper Wildcats back in action tonight against the Evansville North Huskies. The Wildcats with a 1-4 record against the Huskies, who are 7-2. Hello, everybody. I'm Craig Schneider, along with Jason Stamm and Jeremy Marcos on the video. And Jason, now the Wildcats, of course, had a nice long break there. I was just thinking the last time we did a ball game was actually the Memorial game back on December 11th, you and I together. But they were back in action against Wrights the other night. And you know, it's a basketball game. The Wildcats lost by 19, 79-60 there. And just want to kind of get your perspective on it. Was Wrights 19 points better than the Wildcats, or the Wildcats just not play very well, or what's kind of your assessment there?
You know, I don't think that I would say Wrights is 19 points better than us. You know, are they a little bit better than us right now? Yes. You know, but the ultimate goal is come sectional time that, you know, you keep improving as a team. And, you know, I'll take my chances when we play them again in the sectional if we get to that point.
Right.
You know, both teams obviously hadn't played much. You know, that was only their second game. You know, and we had been off for quite a while. So, you know, a lot of those things played into it. We played a lot of guys. You know, Coach Gable's keeping up with his trend that he's got going so far of, you know, trying to figure out who he wants out there and that type of thing. So, you know, those things will all work itself out. So it'll be a total different game if we play them again.
Right, and of course working in Connor Foley, who looks like Connor's getting a start tonight, number 45 for the Wildcats. But, you know, working him in, Gus Heichelbeck getting back into action. It was his first game back, so I'm sure that was part of just trying to mix that into the regulars that have been playing together for a while now.
Yeah, I think you know, like you said, Foley's gets the start tonight. So, you know, I thought Connor played well the other night against Wrights. He did, you know, he ended up fouling out of the game, but I thought he did good when he was in there. Played hard. He's a big, strong, physical kid. I mean, you know, obviously you saw him on the football field all fall.
Right.
You know, and had a very good football season. You know, and I think, you know, from the physicality part, he's going to be there on the basketball floor too.
All right, so North with the basketball. And their starting lineup includes Dom Redding, number 10. Aiden Blackford is number 22. 23 is Chandler Moore, their leading scorer. Ryan Cato, who actually just hit that three-pointer. He is one of the starters along with Cameron Galehausen, number 33. So North with an early 3-0 lead.
I don't know a lot about them. You know, I mean, obviously they got a 7-2 record, so they're playing pretty good basketball right now. But I think it's just, you know, right there, Tanner's been doing that all year so far. You know, he's aggressive. He's going to the hole. Tanner drew the assignment of guarding Moore tonight, and, you know, Tanner has to do that every night, in and out, you know, playing against the best offensive player. So he's got got his work cut out tonight.
Right. Makes a nice move there going into the left side. He had to kind of switch direction there, and Connor's not able to haul in that rebound. So looking at the Wildcats out there on the basketball floor right now, Jace Goodhue, 31. Mentioned Connor Foley, number 45. Day, the Wildcat leading scorer at about 15 points a game. He's number 5. And number 51, Jace Goodhue's out there along with Tanner, number 11, Tanner Ernie. Berger out there also.
Ooh.
And three-pointer is good there.
From the looks of the start of this game, they like to shoot the threes. I don't know what percentage they're shooting for the year, but
yeah, they actually are a pretty good three-point shooting team, shooting 38% on the season as a team. A couple guys up there at 46% for Galehausen, and number 30, Cato, shoots at 42%, 19 of 45 on the season. All right, so the Cats doing a nice job with a hold there, and they're going to get the basketball back. 6-2 is our score. North has popped 2 3-pointers. The Wildcats with a bucket from Ernie.
There was a good job of Berger helping off of his man, and when Moore tried to get around Ernie, Caleb was right there to help tie that guy up.
All right, so North in kind of a switching man-to-man out there. Berger with an opening. He had 9 points the other night on his return after his hand injury earlier in the season. That ball goes out of bounds, and so it's going to go off Blackford. So Cats will have the basketball. 6-2 still our score, 5:27 to go here. First quarter action, Jasper against Evansville North, who is now, of course, a conference foe now. Of course, as you mentioned, a potential sectional opponent.
Yeah. I guess everybody in our sectional's in our conference.
Job by Berger with a shot fake and gives it up to Goodhue, and he's a little trouble in the lane there, and the ball's going to be kicked, so the Cats will hang on to possession here.
North, so far it looks like they're going to try to push the issue, get up and down the floor. I mean, you sit here and you look at them; they look long and skinny. They got one guy down there, number 30's got a little meat on him. The rest of them are all nothing but skin and bones, but they're long.
That's kind of the trouble the Wildcats had the other night was the transition game where Wrights was able to get it up the court, especially after Wildcat turnovers, forcing some turnovers, but shot is short there, and now here comes North the other way, wanting to push the issue. Now, good job to work it around the perimeter. Now a three-pointer on the way, and it rims in and out, so it was a good-looking shot by Cameron Gelhausen.
Yeah, that did everything but go in.
Right. It's cleaning the toilet bowl there.
Yeah, it did.
All right, good job by Goodhue with a nice mid-range jumper. So 6-4 is our score, 4.5 to go here in the first quarter. North leads the Wildcats 6-4. Gus Heichelbeck looking to check in. Day takes advantage of the drive in the lane there, but can't get the shot to go, so here come the Huskies the other way.
We're doing a good job on the offensive end to get to the basket, but we're not finishing them tonight. The referee called palming, turning the ball over, whatever you want to call it. That's the third time I've seen that called in the last two games. They called Deese for it the other night 2 times in a row, and then here tonight. And I bet you could put the last 2 years together, and I never saw it called. So it must have been a point of emphasis this year with the officials that to start watching that a little bit closer.
So Heichelbeck gives it up though, and
Allbrand's in the game too.
He misses that 3. So here come the Huskies quickly. There's Moore yet to score tonight. He averages 19 a game, but a nice feed down low, and Redding gets the layup.
That was nice ball movement. Moore had the shot, passed it up for a lot better shot.
8-4 is our score. Jasper trailing by 4. 3:24 to go here in the first quarter. Heichelbeck trying to post up down low, but then the double team gets the ball knocked out of bounds, so Jasper will hang on. Now you got Beekler coming into the basketball game for the first time. And, that's the thing with Foley and Gelhausen. They have a Gelhausen on their team, Gus Heichelbeck. And then now Beekler, it really allows us to kind of expand our roster and give us a little bit more depth.
We do. Coach Gable's been using a lot of guys this year, trying to find that right combination, trying to keep guys fresh. So there's a nice shot by Allbrand. But, to that point, you're right. I mean, we've got a lot of depth. We've got some guys that can come in. There they called it again.
Wow, that's twice they've called it.
That's unheard of, really. That one caught me off guard. I wasn't even watching the guy with the ball, so I don't know if he actually did it. But
all right, so Spencer Engler's now in for the Wildcats. Huskies have yet to substitute. Cats working their rotation. Beekler in the corner gets it knocked away, and they're actually going to call the foul on number 10, Dom Redding. So that's his first personal foul. North leads the Wildcats by 1, 8-7 with 2:37 to go here in the first quarter. Just the first personal foul called on the Huskies. Allbrand tries to get over to Beekler quickly and gets knocked away, and he recovers. Three-pointer on the way, and that's Gus Heichelbeck. He popped one the other night, and that's another one for tonight.
Yeah, he did. He came in the other night and hit one right off the bat like that.
Nice drive to the basket, and he's able to finish. So Ryan Cadell with another bucket. 10-10 is our score. 2:06 to go here in the first quarter. The action's picking up as Ernie drives to the lane. Off the glass does not go. Redding comes down with it.
Oh.
Quickly down the floor. Good job by Moore to recover that. Cato drives, puts it up, and boy, he looks really smooth taking it to the basket there.
I tell you what, that catch that Moore made down here, that would have been a nice end zone catch in the NFL, I believe, the way he went up and caught that.
All right, so a 2-point lead now for North, 12-10. 1:36 to go. Good job by Beekler to protect his position there. Now Inglert's going to drive and feeds over to Heichelbeck. Tries to drop it down low, and then Cato comes up with a no-look pass over to Moore. A little Euro step over here, and they call the travel. Man. So we're seeing them calling the palming, turnover, whatever you want to call it, with the basketball. Now we saw a travel. You don't usually see that when a guy makes a Euro step anymore.
No, I think that might have caught that official off guard. He just saw the end result and thought, there's no way he could have done that without traveling.
Yeah. So the lead is still 12-10. North on top of the Wildcats with about a minute to go here. Day looking for his first score of the night. Takes it to the lane and gets it. 2 points for Isaac. Tie basketball game with 53 to go, 12-12. And North looking to slow it up a little bit.
So they made, about the time I say they're going to hold it for one, they go to the basket. But
all right, so Day with it now after the Moore missed shot. Beekler straight to the basket, but blocked away. Good job there defensively by Aiden Blackford to come up with it, and he'll bring it up with 26 seconds to go in a tie ball game.
Now I think they're going to hold it.
So we're down to 15 seconds now. Blackford looking at what his options are.
I'm going to guess this is going to go through Moore some way. Well, maybe not.
Actually set up Cato over there in the corner, and we got a whistle, so that's going to be 3 free throws as Englert fouls him on that shot.
I thought these whistles sounded funny. Two of these officials, if you notice, they have the thing in their hand. They went to that I don't know, it's not a virtual whistle, but it's they don't blow it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
See the guy out there in the one at half court, that orange thing they have in their hand?
Oh, that's
their whistle.
All right, so the free throw is good. When you can at least hear it, but it's not real loud.
No, it's got a different sound to it. Now the guy under the bucket here, he's got the old traditional.
All right, so the second foul shot is good. He gets 3 of them here. So Ryan Cato really adding to his numbers here.
Well, I heard our buddies down here on the radio say that he's a 100% free throw shooter. Is that?
As he hits that one,
yeah. He hit all 3 of them.
I know they had, actually, he was 11-11 coming in tonight. Yeah, you're exactly right. So they get the steal and they get a last-second shot. So the shot by Gelhausen does not go, but the 3 free throws is the difference right now. 15-12, Jasper trails after 1. The North Huskies here on 18 WJTS. All right, so the Evansville North Huskies will start the second quarter with the basketball. A couple substitutions. Number 42, Crenshaw's into the ball game, and then also number 5 is Brunell, Matthew Brunell. So Crenshaw with it right now. This is DeLavian Crenshaw. Blackford's got it up top. He's going to drive to his left. Connor Foley's on top of him, and Spencer Engler tries to retrieve it, but North hangs on. There's a 3-pointer by Gelhausen, way short. Blackford drops it down. Some more gets his first bucket of the ball game. So he averages 19. He's got his first 2. 17-12 is our score. North leads the Wildcats.
North in some type of zone now, it looks like. 1-2-2 or 3-2. We got to take better care of the basket. We got basketball. We got lucky there.
Mm-hmm.
They deflected the pass, but it came right back to us. But
Blackford feeds over there to the corner.
Travel.
Brunell nowhere to go, so he gives it up. Now Blackford will drive against Connor Foley, and there's going to be a foul here. We'll see who they call it on.
That's one thing that Connor's going to have to become a better basketball player. He's going to have to watch You know, he's so big and he's so strong that anytime he puts his hands on somebody, there's a reaction to it because he's so strong.
Yeah. So that is his first personal foul. 3 on the Wildcats, 1 so far on North. 6:47 to go here. North with a 17-14 lead over the Wildcats. Moore feeds it over to Blackford. Now Moore will drive baseline against Tanner Ernie. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, but will hang on to the possession. Will be the North Huskies. Now we got coming back into the ball game is Ryan Cadle, number 30. Six and a half to go here in the second quarter. Now Moore's going to rise and fly a three-pointer, and nice smooth-looking shot there. So he's got all 5 points for North. They've built their lead to a 6-point lead, 20 to 14. 6:16 on the clock.
We got to move. We're standing around and see that we throw the ball inside to Goodhue, and nobody, all 4 other guys just kind of stood around, waited for him to pass him the ball.
Nice jump shot hit there by Ernie. It's a three-pointer. So Tanner's got 5, makes it a 3-point game. Galehausen does not hesitate. A little long on the 3, though, and good job there by Dave with position to get that rebound. Backs him off. The Wildcats facing a 1-2-2 zone.
Yeah, I'm going to say
looks
that's
like
what it is.
They got their wings extended out a little bit there. Oh, Brunell, a little shuffle of his feet, but no call there, and a nice foul there by Galehausen.
We're not doing a very good job of rebounding the basketball. We've got to limit them to 1 shot.
Yeah, North averages 32 rebounds a game. Day sets well for that 3-point shot from the wing, and so he's now got 5. 22-20, Jasper trails by 2. Galehausen attacks. Boy, he gets that ball in his hands. He's wanting to score.
Yeah, he is. He definitely looks to go.
Beautiful feed right into Ernie, but he's not able to finish there by Day. Moore pulls up short on that shot, so we got a little run and gun going right now with 4:39 to go. Jasper trailing by 2. Day with another quick shot. And battle for the rebound will be a jump ball, and possession goes to the Wildcats.
That's a quick whistle. I mean, nobody really had it. Let them figure it out, let them battle it out. But we don't want to get into this run and gun, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I just think that we need to play more of our half-court offense than try to get up and down the floor like that. I mean, there's times you want to, but not the whole game.
That's the thing. North's a better scoring team overall with the Wildcats. They average 62 points to the Wildcats' 52. Now Galehausen one-on-one. He's going to try to take it, and a little over-the-shoulder shot doesn't go, but it's cleaned up nicely there by Cadle.
The officials are definitely letting the defense put bodies on him. Ernie was guarding him there and kind of rode him all the way to the basket, and they kind of let him alone.
So Ryan Cadle's he's got 12 points. He averages a little bit less than that, I think.
Yeah, it's like a 1-2-2, I think you might call it. They don't really look like they know what they're doing with it.
As they feed down, Foley sees the opening, but now he's triple team, gives it up. Day will drive, now feeds over. Mundy with a 3-pointer, in and out. Beekler gets the rebound and cannot put it back up and in, but he gets another rebound. Battle. Day has it, and he gets hammered down low, so the Wildcats had some opportunities there. Finally, Day gets fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, I think blocking out has become a thing of the past.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there's a whole lot of that going on either end of the floor.
No. So Day will get 2 shots on the shooting foul. Tops the first one. So Heichelbeck checks in. Galehausen's going to sit as number 10 comes back into the ball game for North, Dom Redding. And second shot is up and in. So Day 2 for 2 from the line on that trip.
Allbrand's in for Day.
So cuts the lead to a 2-point lead for North. It's 24-22. 3:18 to go here in the first half. Blackford against Tanner Ernie. Long three-pointer launch there, does not go, but a rebound comes down to Mooney. He quickly gets it over to Ernie on the right side.
I don't, yeah, Day's out. I was going to say, I'm not sure.
There's Gus with another bucket.
Gus has got some nice moves inside. You know, he loves the up and under, where he'll do the spin move, fake one way, and then get the guy to jump and then go back under the other way. Does a really good job of that.
So 24-22 with 2.5 to go here in the first half. Blackford feeds it over to Redding. Redding tries to make a move against Beekler. Now has to pull up and gets the shot up and in. 4 points for Dom. Makes it a 26-24 game. Good competitive basketball game between these two teams.
We need to look to get the ball into Gus. He's got a size advantage over that guy that's trying to guard him in there.
North is back to their man-to-man. Gus feeds it back over to Ernie. He's got a minute 56 right now. Beekler.
Right there. Oh, missed him.
Michael gives it up. Now works it around. Allbrand.
Showing good patience. Moving the basketball, making them play defense. That's what you got to do, because then after so long, the defense gets tired and it breaks down, just like right there.
Yes, and an up and in for Heichel back again. So Gus having a ball game tonight. Popped a three-pointer in his return to action. Actually, first action of the season against Wrights the other night. He has got 7 points here in this first half. All right, some substitutions here is trying to see who came in for Ernie there.
Englert.
Englert, okay. Yeah. And Heichelbeck a little short on the free throw, though. So 26-26, we're tied. Cato with a nice drive and hangs on the front of the rim but drops. Englert's got it. He'll race down to the
travel,
getting the kind of no man's land there and commits the turnover. All right, so 1:20 to go. We got a tie basketball game here in the first half. Blackford's going to come up slowly this time, and Heichelbeck's there to pick him up. Cato, good job there by Allbrand to stay on top of him. Now Blackford trying to make a move against Beekler. Cat's doing a good job defensively so far here on this possession for North. Englert aggressive, knocks the ball away. Now he gets a little bit of help, still no call. And they're going to call a travel as he went down to the floor. Moore going to the other official and kind of losing it there. Now works his way back down the floor. All right, so the Wildcats will have the basketball. They are tied at 26 with 52.9 to go. Englert gets it. Moore all after him. Allbrand drives, way long on that shot though, and here come the North Huskies quickly. Blackford's, yeah, he did. Trying to make a quick first step. So now you got 38 seconds to go. Tie basketball game. Jasper could take the lead here if they can hold it for one shot.
I haven't been keeping turnovers tonight, but there's got to be quite a few on both sides.
Both sides.
I mean, it's not a very well-played game from that standpoint.
Moore drives to the basket, but he will be fouled by Mundi. But yeah, Englert just kind of in a little bit of trouble there when he picked up his dribble there right at mid-court. So 26.7, North will go to the line. Tied at 26.
Yeah, Spencer picked his dribble up in no man's land there.
All right, so a free throw is good there by Moore. So all 6 of his points have come here in the second quarter.
Berger's back in as well as Day, trying to look for the last second shot or the last shot of the quarter.
And Moore gets that one to drop as well. Actually, nobody was subbing in.
Nobody,
so
I think it was an inadvertent horn.
Yeah.
Nobody got hurt by it, though.
Nope. All right, so Jasper will bring it up with 25 seconds to go. Trailing by 2. North 28, Jasper 26.
North's going to run a little half-court trap.
Beekler in a little bit of trouble, gets it over to Heichelbeck in the corner. Now he tries to feed it out quickly to Day, who goes to the lane. Nice drop down into Beekler, and the bucket is up and in with 7 seconds to go. We're tied at 28. Here comes Blackford on the right side, gives it up to Moore. Three-pointer on the way, drops it right at the buzzer. So Wildcats are able to tie the ball game there with the bucket down to Beekler, but number 23, Chandler Moore, pops a 3, and he had a big third or second quarter there. Gives him a 3-point lead, Jason.
Yeah, you got to get back. You know, you did a good job of getting the bucket on that end, but then you can't celebrate. You got to, you know, there was plenty of time left, and you got to get down the floor. And North pushed it up, and they hit a shot there at the end of the quarter. But
well, a little sloppiness, I think, on both teams. But again, when you get those fast-paced type games, that's what you're going to run into.
Yeah, I think so. You know, as a coach, you don't like to see that. I mean, you obviously, you know, every time you have a turnover, that's one possession that you don't have the opportunity to score. You know, it's a relatively low-scoring game. You know, like we were saying, there's been quite a few turnovers. I don't know how many, but quite a few. So that's a lot of opportunities that you've squandered away by not even getting to shoot the ball.
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah, even if you only hit a third of them, that's, you know, that many more points that you'd have. So,
right.
You know, I'm sure both teams will go in at halftime and try to make a couple adjustments and come back out and see what happens.
All right, so North leads the Wildcats by 3 here at halftime, 31-28 here on 18 WJTS. Again, here at Jasper High School, Jason Stom, Craig Schneider, and Jeremy Marcos bringing you the action. The Wildcats trailing the North Huskies 31-28 as we get ready to start the third quarter. We'll take a quick look at scoring. 4 players have scored for North, but they've scored pretty well. Chandler Moore had 10 points in the second quarter. Ryan Cato actually finished with 12 points. He had 10 of those in the first quarter. And then 5 points from Cameron Gelhausen and 4 points for Dom Redding for their 31 points. The Wildcats actually have spread it out among 7 different players who scored. 7 points for Isaac Day, 5 for Ernie, 2 for Goodhue, 3 for Allbrand, 2 for Beekler, and then 7 points off the bench for Gus Heichelbeck, and also 2 points for Connor Foley as the Wildcats get the basketball back after North had the ball to start the second half. And a good job by Foley to get a rebound, put it back up and in.
Yeah, Connor did a good job there. He just went up and took that right away. The North had the rebound corralled, and he just kind of took it right away from him.
So 1 point lead now for North. Redding goes one-on-one against Day.
Jasper came out there to start the second half and ran a little real quick trap and forced a turnover. I'll tell you what, Gelhausen, he just jacks that thing up. And it's an ugly-looking shot.
A good job by Ernie to get the layup over in the other end. So the Wildcats now have taken the lead, 32-31. 7 points for Ernie tonight.
That's two quick turnovers for North.
And 2 quick buckets for Ernie. So Ernie, Wildcats jump out to a 6-0 start here in the third quarter. So we played just a little over a minute, and the Wildcats will take a 34-31 lead into the break here on 18 WJTS. And Roach, the coach for the Evansville North Husky, is actually in his fourth year here at Evansville North. Won a sectional in his first year, 2018. Team had a 13-13 record that year, but did win the sectional. They will have the ball out, trailing now the Wildcats by 3, 34-31. Cats up.
We came out, you know, with a little more energy and fire there to start the second half, and like we were talking at the break there, you know, we got to maintain that now.
Well, Goodhue comes up with the loose one. Now Connor Foley's able to hang on to it, bounces it over to Day. Day will back it out, Redding picking him up. Top of the key. Blackford guarding Berger one-on-one. Nice feed. I'm actually a little off the mark there was Goodhue trying to find Connor Foley.
Kind of forced that one a little bit.
Moore pulls up, gets it over to Blackford for a nice shot there, but he's short on the 3, and that's going to be over the back, I believe, on Connor Foley, his second foul.
I don't fault Connor there. He went up for the rebound, and the offensive guy kind of slid in front of him, so it looked like he went over his back, but he really didn't when he went up for the rebound.
Right. So first team foul on the Wildcats here in the second half. Galehausen gets it, and I'll tell you what, he never looks at anything other than that green rim up there.
He's never seen a shot. He hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like, that's for sure, because when he gets it, you might as well get ready to rebound because it's going to be shot.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are ugly shots. I mean, they're not good shots either.
He's kind of forcing things at times. But all right, but he hits the free throw. Again, the Huskies a good free throw shooting team on the season. Showing here, actually, Galehausen, though, 44% on the year. (34-33), Jasper with a 1-point lead. Berger will launch a 3, misses there. Redding comes down with it and quickly gets it over to Moore. Moore, though, good job by Foley to cut him off. I'm sorry, Ernie. Redding tries to tip it up, and Foley comes down with the board. Now there's a loose.
Oh, that's a frustration foul.
Right.
Connor did a good job of getting the initial rebound and then struggled to get the outlet pass. Made a bad, they deflected it, got the ball back, and you just got to play straight up defense. But, they get aggravated because, they made the mistake.
Right.
You just compound it by committing the foul.
Right. So Moore's going to shoot 2 free throws here. There's the third foul on Foley, so Gus Heichelbeck will give him a spell. So North doing an excellent job from the line tonight, but that's her first miss, actually.
Oh, and they trap.
Moore, he'll be left alone for the easy slam. So good job here by Blackford to save that basketball. 36-34, North has gotten the lead back here, and trouble there for the Wildcats, and John Gable's going to have to call the timeout as Tanner was double teamed right across the 10-second line. So Cats had a lead there as they started off with 6 quick points, but now they trail by 2, 36-34 here on 18 WJTS. Well, Jason, the Wildcats off to a quick start here in this quarter, but North is starting to settle in a little bit and got that lead right back.
Well, they kind of turned up the pressure on defense a little bit. They went to that half-court trap right there again, and they forced a couple quick turnovers. We just got to take care of the basketball a little better.
Gus gets a nice position down there, kind of hesitated to see where Galehausen was going to position defensively, but nice job to put that up and in for his 9th point. Tie ball game, 36, 4:44 to go here in the third. Stop and pop there by Blackford, doesn't go. Day hangs on to it. Blackford picks him up now. Galehausen gets around him and gets it over to Ernie. Ernie in a little bit of trouble. Good job by Day to find the open spot, but a beautiful feed by Ernie.
It's good ball movement there. Day made a nice cut, and Ernie saw him and got him the basketball for the shot.
So Jasper now with a 2-point lead, 38-36. Three-pointer is long there. Galehausen gets a rebound. You know where it's going, but he misses, though. And gets his own rebound back up and in. So Cameron Galehausen now with 9 points. Tie ball game, 38, and we got a whistle over there. And it's going to be a foul on the North Huskies. Galehausen picks it up. Beekler coming in, Allbrand coming in. And you also got Burnell coming in, and also, let's see, okay, that's 42. We've seen him earlier, Crenshaw. Huskies in a zone again, right?
Yeah, 1-2-2, I think.
Allbrand wide open in the corner. Day sees him. He's going to get the shot off. A little short, though. Good job by Berger to rebound, though. But Gus Heichelback puts it up and in.
Yeah, Gus just happened to be in the right place because that rebound fell right to him.
Right.
Sometimes that's all it takes, a little luck.
So double-figure night for Gil Heichelback. I got a quick call. I was just talking to Kyle earlier. He's going to kill me. All right, so Heichelback, but now it's a 40-40 game. Feed into Berger, now it's over to Beekler. North comes down with it. Quickly the other way and cannot handle it. Is number 42, Crenshaw.
I think Crenshaw kind of got in the way there because I think that pass was going to Moore, but luckily he stuck his hand up there and knocked the ball away.
Right. All right, so we're tied at 40 with 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Englert's in for Isaac Day.
All right, so Berger over there. Heichelback with the shot, and he is popping, and I'll tell you what a night we're seeing for him. 14 points for number 55. Gives the Wildcats a 3-point lead. Moore's going to drive, and he will travel. All right, so Jasper will have the basketball with 2:38 to go, a 3-point lead, 43-40. We got an outstanding ball game here, a conference matchup between the Wildcats and the Huskies. Englert finds Allbrand. Allbrand's going to drive, left-handed shot up, and they're going to call an offensive foul. So they're saying Brunell had good position down there, and
he did, but I'm not sure that he was out far enough away from the basket when he took the charge.
All right, so Berger's going to sit down.
As a coach there, you don't fault the player for being aggressive and going to the basket.
Right.
You know, you take your chances and see what happens.
3-point lead for the Wildcats with 2:17 to go. Moore gives it up. Three-pointer on the way and pops it. So a good shot there by Crenshaw. He gets his first points of the ball game, and it ties it up at 43 with 2 minutes to go here in the third. Day gets it across. Trying to break away from that double team. Good job there by Moore to get the steal. But a nice job there by Englert to get it right back. Heichelback, beautiful feed, easy bucket there for Allbrand. Crenshaw with it, gives it up. Three-pointer doesn't go there by Cadle. Heichelback, he's going to, little teardrop shot, does not go though.
That's probably not the shot the coach is looking for in that situation. You got a big stop on the other end, you got the lead. Would probably like to get a little bit better shot than that there.
Cadle with a nice drive though, he puts it up and in. All right, so we got a tie ball game with 1 minute to go, 45-45, Jasper with the basketball. Inglert's going to back it up.
We need to look inside to Gus again. It's a mismatch here.
Beekler right there in the lane, gives it up though. Three-pointer on the way, and it's dropped there by Englert, so a nice shot shown by him. So the Wildcats popping some threes here. 3 of them hitting this quarter.
Did a good job. We were patient, moved the ball around, and found the guy that was wide open.
All right, so North. Moore has it right there at the W. Dribbling out right now with 20 seconds to go here in the third. Jasper with a 3-point lead. Moore drives. Nobody, I guess they're going to say that Gus knocked it out. I don't think he agreed. All right, so Galehausen back in, Blackford back in. 10.6 to go. Jasper with a 3-point lead here in the third quarter. All right, some discussion going on here.
I think Moore's got blood on a lip or a chin or something.
Okay, so they're going to be forced to sub him out. So that's going to bring number 10, Dom Redding, back into the ball game. And actually, North's going to call a timeout to see if they can get that taken care of and maybe get him back in.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take a break. 10.6 to go. When we come back, Jasper with a 3-point lead here on 18 WJTS. All right, 10.6 to go here. North will inbound underneath their basket. Cato will drive to the basket, and Day's going to be called for the foul there. So, only used, I don't know how that only used about 2 seconds or so.
Yeah.
All right, so Cato's going to shoot the free throws. Ryan with 14 points on the night. And he pops that one. So he is 5 for 5 from the free throw line. 14 for 14 on the season coming into tonight's ball game. A couple subs here for North.
Number 11 and number 1's going in for the shooter, I believe.
Okay, so 11 is Jules Haley, number 11. And set to check in is Bolton Presswood. They're running back on the football team this year, getting his first action of the night. So Cato does what he does, and that's pop 2 free throws.
Presswood looks like a football player.
No, there's no doubt. He was outstanding when the Wildcats played him earlier this year. All right, Beekler with it with 6 seconds, gets it across. Now they feed it over to Day if he can get the shot up, and it does not drop. Presswood comes down with the board, but that will be the end of the quarter. So it was a battle right there. The Wildcats with the first 6 points to jump out to the lead. North got it back, but right now Jasper with a slim 1-point lead going into the fourth quarter, 48-47 here on 18 WJTS. Jasper with a 1-point lead, 48-47. We'll have the basketball to start here. Jason, the Wildcats outscored in Evansville 20-16 in that quarter to take this lead.
Yeah, they did. We did a good job. 20 points in the quarter. That's shooting the basketball well and moving it and getting things done.
Wow, what a move by Foley there. Connor's got 6 points and nice spin move to get that shot off the glass. Cato will drive, and oh, wow.
I don't know how that went in or how he even got it up there to go in, but he traveled.
Kind of looked like the Iceman there.
Yeah.
George Gervin. Feed down to Foley. He's getting another opportunity. Can't get the shot to go, but he'll go to the line to shoot too. So both teams remaining pretty aggressive here. 50-49, Jasper with a 1-point lead. Foley a little bit long on the free there.
Berger's coming in for Engler.
Cats are 2 for 4 from the line so far.
Close game like this, you got to hit these. They all add up here pretty quickly.
Right. Cato, he's aggressive going to the basket. He's got 2 quick buckets here in this fourth quarter. So he is extending now with 20 points in this basketball game. 1-point lead for North, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Moore, number 23. So Mooney into the ball game, number 15. He's going to inbound.
Well, he was, and then they tried to switch.
Yeah, I saw that. Ernie, double team there. He tries to back it off and gets it over to Goodhue.
Splits through there.
Yeah. So defensive pressure really picking up here by North, and Gable thought about a timeout but did not. But Foley's going to be fouled here on the baseline, so I think it's going to go on Gelhausen. Gelhausen, not Heichelbeck.
Yeah, there you go. You got that right that time, Craig. Good job.
1-point lead for the North Huskies as the Wildcats inbound here, 51-50. Foley with it. They don't double team him, so he's able to get it over to Berger. Redding picks up Ernie. So explain this defense they got going.
Well,
it didn't work because we scored.
It wasn't very good defense. It looks like they're trying to play a zone, but then they're trying to trap out of it at different times.
Blackford in a little bit of trouble right there, gives it up to Cadle. Jasper with a 1-point lead, 52-51 after that bucket by Ernie. Moore can't find the spot there.
That's a tough shot.
And it's drilled. I'll tell you what, he is having a game tonight. 23 points for Ryan Cadle. And he gives North a 2-point lead. So John Gable wants to call a timeout and straighten things out here. North 54, Jasper 52 with 6:06 to go here in the fourth on 18 WJTS. Goodhue will inbound here, 54-52, North up by 2. So we've seen the lead kind of go back and forth between these two teams here in the second half. Berger has to dribble it back out as Redding tried to pick him up.
Now they're kind of in the regular zone defense matchup type thing.
Foley's able to recover. He lost a little control there. Now Moore's chasing it down, and he can't handle it. Day on the floor after it. Or Berger, I'm sorry. And actually it goes out of bounds. And they're going to say Jasper basketball. All right, so Foley's going to sit down. Heichelbeck's in. 2-point lead for North. Jasper with the basketball. 5.5 to go here in the fourth. Berger, nice drop down into Heichelbeck, but then he sees Day in the corner. Day can't get the shot off, though, so he dribbles it out. Goodhue now, back over to Day.
That's careless.
Yes, and it ends up going off Day over there, so North will get the basketball on the turnover.
You've got to secure that basketball before you try to pass or dribble.
Right. All right, so North with the basketball. 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 2-point lead, 54-52. Cato with a nice drive there and a cut. Puts it up and in. So he continues on. 25 points for him tonight. He's got 9 in the quarter. Now Blackford does actually knock that ball away from Ernie. Beekler will check in. Goodhue's going to sit. Berger trying to come off the screen there, but now they're going to inbound it over to Beekler up top with 4-point lead for North.
They kind of run this zone defense and they put Moore at the top of it. And I think part of the reason is he's long, and the other part is he gets out on the transition real well when he's out there.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to leave more room for him on my score sheet. He's now got 27. Ryan Cadle really picking things up. 11 points he has scored, all 11 points for North in this fourth quarter, and helped them extend to a 6-point lead, 58-52, Jason.
Yeah, you know, what can you say? He's having a career night, more than likely. I don't know the young man. I don't know how many, points or nights he's had like this, but I would have to say it's, one of his better career games. So obviously, you from the Jasper standpoint side of that, you have to realize that, he's got the hot hand. He's the guy they're going to. They're going to him. Moore is their stud, but, not tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to, on the defensive end, you have to be able to adapt to that and figure out who's got the hot hand that night, which is him tonight. And, you got to look to try to do whatever you can to stop him.
And the thing is, he's getting a lot of transition buckets here as well. I mean, I know he hit a three-pointer, but he has just been aggressively getting into that lane.
And that's just it. I mean, he's got the outside shot, but yet if you don't respect that, he shoots it. But if you do and you get out there, he's got the quickness to go around you to get to the hole.
Right.
So.
And again, an outstanding free throw shooter. So if it comes down to that, it can be tough for the Wildcats to be able to get back into this ball game. But right now, 58-52, 4:19 to go. The Cats with the basketball after the timeout.
We need a good possession here, work the basketball and get a good shot out of it and try to get a bucket. I'm sure we probably got some play, a set play we're looking at here maybe.
Berger in the corner, thought about it, but now gives it over to Beekler. Now they work it over to the left wing, and that's Day. He will drive, but they're going to say the foul is before the shot.
I thought he double dribbled, and I think that's what their Coach Roach is yelling about, that he thought it, and I heard the official holler that it was tipped. So, I mean, I couldn't see it, but he's a lot closer than I was.
Right.
So we're going to go with his call that it was tipped.
Yeah. So a 6-point lead. We've not seen many large leads in this basketball game. 6 might be the longest or the biggest lead for North tonight.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
3:38 to go here in the fourth. And every possession is going to be crucial, and a good job here seeing that opening by Ernie and dropping the shot. So he's got 8 points here in this second half. And it's a 4-point ball game, 58-54 with 3:23 to go. Moore will attack the basket there, lays it up, doesn't go, and this may be an over-the-back rebound on the rebound there.
Yeah, I think Moore's going to pick up that foul. That foul there was kind of just like what we got on Foley about earlier.
Right.
You know, it was a mistake because that wasn't a very good shot, and then committed the foul immediately after that.
Yeah. A lot of times it's just a little frustration where you're just trying to correct the error that you just made.
Yeah, and you just compound it and make another one.
2 errors are better than 1, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so Day's going to back up, and he tries to give it up to Ernie. He's able to retrieve it. 3 minutes to go here. 4-point lead for North. Cats with the basketball as Blackford picks up Berger. Now he's got the, well, they back off the double team there. Beekler in the corner. Gus trying to position his man down there, and that's Cato who's guarding him. Berger with the drive, and it's blocked from behind Blackford, but Gus right there to clean it up. Big time night for Gus Heichelbeck tonight. 2-point ball game, 58-56 with 2:32 to go. 16 points for number 55 off the bench tonight. Redding. Day picking him up, a little one-on-one action at the top of the key as he dribbles around. And he kind of forces that shot up, and Beekler's coming down with the board. Day looked like he did carry it.
Yeah, he did.
No call.
He got the ball up awful high, I know that.
Ernie in and out on that 3. More quickly the other way, and there's Redding with an easy bucket.
They definitely like to do that. You know, they like to get out, get down the floor. You know, that's one thing, you know, you watch it on film and you know it, but till you get in the game and actually experience it, it's a whole lot different.
Right. All right, so we'll take a break here with 1:56 to go. North, after that bucket, leads by 4 over the Wildcats, 60-56 here on 18 WJTS. All right, Jason Stom, North has a 4-point lead, and it's under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, you know, obviously every possession you have, you know, you want to at least try to get a shot at the bucket. You know, you can't afford turnovers at this stage anymore. So you don't have to get in a hurry. You don't have to, you know, you're not in the panic mode yet.
Day launches the 3 and cannot hit it, so now it's a quick transition bucket the other way and before the shot, so that's actually a good foul. You know, you and Gook were talking about the other night where it's like in that situation, hammer him, don't let him get that shot up.
Yeah, and Berger did. You know, it was a clean foul. He went for the ball.
Right.
You know, everything he did was good. It wasn't an intentional foul. He went for the ball like he needed to. I thought that was, I guess that was just the sixth foul. They're awful quick at getting that up there because as soon as I looked, it said 6 already, and I thought they were going to be in the bonus, but.
All right, so we got a minute 35, 4-point lead for North, and they have the basketball there. Gelhausen.
Hey, he didn't shoot.
That's what I was going to say. Wisely didn't shoot there, but Moore's going to attack the basket, and a good block there. Great defense by Ernie, but now we got a jump ball, and I think that's going to be North basketball.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so 60-56. Jasper down by 4 with 1:24 to go. 6 fouls on both teams. Timeout situation. Cats with 3. Huskies with 1 remaining.
We don't have to get in no hurry here.
And Gus immediately goes out there and fouls him. So.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, you're 50 feet from the bucket. You know, make them can go out and guard them, so
Right.
they have to do something.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure you want to commit the foul right away. But
All right, so Blackford's going to step to the line. And he misses.
so I guess it was a good foul. Oh,
Gus wasn't looking for the basketball as Day tried to give it up to him, and the Huskies retrieve it and call a quick timeout with 1:07 to go. Oh, man.
that was their last timeout, so, maybe that can come back to haunt them now.
Right.
But, that there again, we just talked about that. You can't have empty trips, at least where you at least get a shot off.
Yeah.
And there we didn't get the shot. We had a turnover, and they get the ball back. So,
Well, in that situation, I mean, if I'm Day, why is he giving it up to Heichelbeck? As he's just kind of trying to get back down in his position there.
yeah,
So
yeah. I don't fault Gus so much there because Gus is just running down the floor, and all of a
Right.
sudden the ball's passed to him, and he wasn't expecting it.
Right.
But you got to overcome that. Now you got to go down, and you don't have to. I don't think they'll foul right away. I think they'll go down and try to play good defense and get a stop.
Right.
Obviously North's probably going to be as patient as they can, try to run as much clock off as they can. I think you go for the steal initially, and if you don't get it right away, then you're down 4. You can't let too much time come off the clock. You're going to have to make an aggressive attempt and go for the steal, and if not, commit the foul.
Right. Okay, our situation here. North with a 4-point lead in the basketball. 7 fouls on the Wildcats, 6 fouls on North. North has burned their last time out after that steal to hang on to possession. Blackford comes down and gets the basketball, and Foley immediately fouls him. So again, Blackford missed his last free throw, but coming into tonight, he was 2 for 3 from the line, so.
I'm not sure if that was a foul that Coach Gable wanted, because I saw as soon as the whistle blew, I looked over at him and he was kind of like threw his hands up like, what are we doing?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what they had talked about in the huddle, but.
And he's short on that free throw, so the Wildcats get the ball back, so it does work for the Wildcats in their favor here.
Yeah, they're letting us hang in there. That's two bonuses that they've missed, so we've got to capitalize on it now.
So scoring is going to be the key here. We got 47 seconds to go. 4-point deficit for the Wildcats, and Day gets the shot in the corner and drops it. Big time three-pointer there, and the Wildcats call a quick timeout. So it was right in the flow of the offense, Jason, and he was just wide open in the corner.
Yeah, that's a set play that they had set up. They passed the ball around exactly like they were supposed to do. Day cut from the opposite wing or wherever he started over there, and come over to that, got his feet set and hit the shot. I mean, it was a very nice looking shot and did the things we needed to do. Now we got to, as a coach, here you got to be very firm as to what you want your players to do. If it's play good straight up defense till 20 seconds and then foul or whatever it is.
Right.
You got to make sure that you convey that to them so that they know exactly when they leave this huddle what are they doing.
So Day now with 12 points, but none bigger than that three-pointer to make it a 1-point game. 38.8 to go. So now 2 timeouts remaining for the Wildcats. No timeout for the Huskies here. So they're going to have to inbound it here.
Yeah, that could be key right here with no timeouts left. If they can't get the ball in bounds, they can't call a timeout.
Right. Quickly get it into Cadle, and he's going to dribble there and a quick foul.
Yeah, they're going to keep it out of 22's hand. Blackford, he's the one that missed the last 2.
Yeah, the thing is, though, Cadle's the guy who's been perfect all season. Not so much just all night. He is 5 for 5 tonight.
You get a miss here, even if you hit both of them, you're only down 1 possession.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, you've narrowed it down to a 1-possession game right now, so you just got to see how it plays out.
So number 30. He's kind of a set shooter there with his free throws.
Yeah, he doesn't use, I've been watching him. He doesn't use his legs much when he shoots the basketball. Right. I mean, he doesn't bend his knees a lot. He's confident in what he does, but he just nice looking shot.
Rotation there on it.
Yeah.
All right, so it gives him a 3-point lead. Berger's got it. We got 34 seconds to go. It's a 3-point game, 62-59.
They're going to run this same play. Right there it is again.
And it does not drop this time for Day. Now Gelhausen comes down with it, and Beeker's going to have to foul him right away. So Exact same play.
It was the exact same play. They had the exact same shot, and it was a good shot. I mean, it did everything but go in. I mean, you can't fault the execution of it.
Okay, so Galehausen will get a shot at the free throw line.
He'll get 2. That was the 10th team foul, so the first one's not as important.
And he pops that, so came into tonight just shooting 44% from the line.
Mundy's in for Beekler. Let's get another three-point shooter in now.
So you get a 44% foul shooter who's 3 for 3 on the night, and now 4 for 4. So now it's a 5-point game. Tough situation here with 20 seconds to go for the Cats. They're trailing. Quick drive to the basket does not go. Now Day's going to try to actually pulls up short of the three-point shot and way short on the shot. Now Burnell with the rebound and see if the Cats foul him out, but nope. They actually do commit the foul, so that is going to put Blackford to the line. Again, he's missed 2 free throws, but with 5.9, it's pretty well.
It's in a 5-point game. It's it's out of the one possession area range. So
all right, so it's the 3rd foul on Day. This will be double bonus with the 10th foul on the Wildcats here. And Blackford pops that one.
He shot that one with confidence.
Yeah.
Like he made every one he shot tonight. And that's what you got to do as a shooter. You can't remember your last miss. You got to go up there with the intent that you're going to hit that one. So.
Right. All right, so Day will get the final shot. He's short on it, and Gus cannot put the follow in. So our final margin, big basketball game for the Wildcats, but just not able to finish it. Evansville North defeats Jasper 65-59.
Well, from the coach's standpoint, I'm sure they'll, go back to the drawing board this week. Short turnaround. Today's Saturday. We got to turn around and come back out Tuesday night against Southridge. Obviously that's a county rival. You just got to come back out ready to play and forget about the season up to this point. I mean, you got to at some point you got to say, okay, let's move forward.
Right.
Okay, let's not worry about what's happened. Let's try to get better every game out and every practice out, and let's just try to keep improving. So, I'm sure the coaching staff will go to work, Monday at practice. Obviously they're not going to go out and try to run them and kill them to death, when they got to turn around and come back out and play on Tuesday. So, I'm sure there'll be some key points that, they're going to stress, whether it's, whatever. So it's one of those, you just got to take a deep breath and say, okay, we got to regroup. We're not that far off.
Right.
We've been in the games, none of them outside of the Wrights game, and it really wasn't a 19-point game really till towards the end,
Right.
But, we've been in all these games. Even against Heritage Hills, there for a while we were right there competing with them, and that's where I think, as a coaching staff, they're probably looking for somebody to be a leader, to step up and say, let me put you on my shoulders. I'm going to help carry you guys.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be a guy that's going to be out there scoring.
Right.
Whether it's Caleb Berger. You look at this team and the guys that are out there playing, the varsity experience is in Caleb Berger, and that's it.
Coming into
this season.
Right.
These other guys, this is all new territory for those guys, and that's what we tend to forget that sometimes, that hey, these guys are young, and you can't continue to use that as an excuse.
Right. Once you get 6 games into the season.
Yeah, at some point you got to move on.
Right.
So from that standpoint, that's where I'm saying is you've got to have somebody that can be a leader, that can say, hey, let's go. Whether it's Tanner Ernie, whether it's Isaac Day, whether it's whoever.
Right.
Anybody out there can do it.
Yeah.
Berger can do it. Any of those guys that are out there playing. And it's not so much in the game either. It's in practice. It's somebody's got to be the emotional, the physical, and the leader of this group and say, let's go. tired of losing. I'm tired of doing this. We're going to change this thing. We're going to right this ship, and we got to figure out what to do.
Well, and I tell you what, the style of play tonight, do you think it was really the way the Wildcats should approach this ball game, or?
You know, and it was kind of that way the other night with Wrights. You know, the old cliche is when you play Evansville schools, it's a whole different ball game because of the way they play in Evansville and the way the rest of Southern Indiana plays is two different things. Their style down there is more flamboyant. It's produced for one or two stars. You know, Christian Lander was there. You know, and you can just go on down. I could sit here and name off star players for these Evansville schools for years.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way those teams are built.
Right.
They're built around the flamboyant and the individual style play where other schools in the area, Jasper, Heritage Hills, Southridge, you know,
more
it's a more controlled, it's a team-oriented game. It's not it's all about me.
Right.
You know, it's not like that. But you know, you get down there to Evansville, and that's kind of the way. And I don't want to put all the Evansville schools in there. Modern days, I don't think modern days like that.
Usually
I mean, they're more of a other type team.
Right.
But you know, your Bossy, your Wrights, your Harrison, your North. You know, those schools. And it's not. I'm not degrading them or downplaying the way they play, but that's just the way it's been.
Well, and you get some of those Division I players. You know, like when you talk about Christian Lander, and then Harrison's had the Gordon boys, or that played so well there and all that, and it's just so it's just it occasionally you get that potential Division I player, and they try to showcase that,
and they do, and I'm not faulting them for that. I mean, they do. They have good talent comes along every now and then, and they do. They showcase it. They let them. Things are built to revolve around those players.
Yeah.
Wrights was fortunate they had Lander last year or for the last couple of years. Now they've got the Deese boy, and now they've got a sophomore that played the other night that played really well.
Right.
So they just keep building on that. And those teams, in my opinion, are more based on individuals as compared to the team aspect of the game.
Right.
I'm not saying one way is better than the other.
Yeah.
But, we as from Jasper's standpoint, I think, in the past, we've always kind of struggled against teams that are that way.
Right.
We're more geared for a grinded out game. We've always been notorious for blue collared, hardworking kids. We're going to outwork you. And there's a lot of times when the opposing team has a lot more athleticism than we do. A lot of teams we play, it's like that. It doesn't matter whether it's football, basketball, whatever.
Right.
But our mentality in the past has always been, we're going to outwork you, we're going to outgrind you, and we're going to beat you that way.
Yeah.
And right now we're struggling a little bit with it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure from Coach Gable's standpoint, our record, what now is 1-5. I'm sure he's not pleased with that. But from the same token, you got to try to make positives from it. You can't just keep dwelling on the negatives. You have to take some positives at some time, and then you don't know. I mean, you're dealing with 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids. One of these days they may come to practice and something starts clicking, and the next game they play, it just looks like a total different team out there.
Right.
And that's what you get when you're dealing with kids. I mean,
Sure.
My sixth grade team, same type of thing. We've struggled early in the year. We had a long layoff over Christmas, and now it just seems like we're starting to grasp things and get things, and and from the high school standpoint, that's okay if you do that because you want to be playing your best basketball at the sectional.
Sure.
I mean, we could go into the sectional with 4 or 5 wins and win that sectional.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Your record doesn't matter. Everybody that goes to play in that sectional at Evansville North in March, your record's 0-0.
Right.
You're 0-0, and you got to go out there and play.
Right.
And you've proved that you can play with Evansville North.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna play better with Wrights. You got a chance. There's nobody down there. It'll be interesting to see who they deem as the favorite for that sectional this year because I think everybody there can beat just about everybody.
Right. Well, and the one thing, whenever you get into tight ball games like this, where you do have leads later into the games, but you just can't maintain them and all that. You just have to learn to win, don't you?
Yeah, you do, and that's a very good point, Craig. Right now we don't know how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've only won one game.
Right.
You have to learn how that becomes a culture.
Mm-hmm.
You have to learn how to do that.
Right.
And how do you do that? There is no magic formula for that. There's no magic words that the coach can say in the locker room as to what that's going to turn that on.
Right.
That's just something that the kids have to figure that out.
Yeah.
And once you do, then you'll be okay. But right now we're just struggling with that.
All right, I guess it's all part of the process, but it just doesn't get easier when you look at the schedule for the Wildcats. We got Southridge coming in, then Boise after that, at Washington, Forest Park. I mean, every single team, every night this team plays is going to be a competitive night.
There are, this is a tough season, tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You got Bedford in there this year that you didn't have in the past. You added a good Lagodi team in there.
Right.
Obviously you pick up, Bossy, like you said, and it's just, it's a good thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
right.
You want to play a good schedule. You want to be pushed. You want to be challenged in the regular season so that when you come time for the sectional, you're seasoned and you can handle those things and you're ready to go.
Right.
So.
All right, well, we're going to take a break here. Hopefully we'll get one of the coaches to come out here, but we'll tally up the scoring here. So Wildcats will be back in action against Southridge on Tuesday night, so I'll see you then, Jason.
All right, sounds good. Thanks,
All
Greg.
right, we'll take a break. Jasper falls to Evansville North. 65-59 was the final. We'll be right back after this here on 18 WJTS. All right, we're back once again here at Jasper High School. The Wildcats falling to the Evansville North Huskies 65-59. We got Coach John Gable here. And, John, competitive basketball game, a game that was winnable. I know you've talked about this season and all that. It's like learning to win. So when is our team going to learn to win?
Well, hopefully sooner than later.
I didn't mean to be mean about that question.
No, I understand. Part of that equation would be, last year when the game was on the line, we had Jackson Cabrick, Quentin Harmon, Carter Stom, Elliot Hof, and usually Caleb Berger on the floor.
Right.
End of the game situations at the high school level are very difficult, and the only way you really get good at them is to actually have to be involved in them. And so it's kind of a learning curve for us. Every team we've played this year so far has been experienced. North was a very experienced team tonight.
Right.
They could shoot the ball well, and they were seasoned. They had 3 starters back from last year, and probably at least 5 of their top 8 guys were back out here, and that makes a difference because they are veteran players and they've been there before, and it helps them make better decisions. But it's just been our calling card. It's just been the story of our season. It's been our identity. I think the teams that we've lost to now, we're 1-5, and the 5 teams we lost to have a record of something like 34-6 or something like that. We've lost to really good teams. 2 of them are ranked number 1 in their class. Yep. North just won their 8th game of the season tonight. They're now 8-2. They just came off a really nice win over Evansville Harrison last night, and so we're not ashamed that we've lost those teams, but we've got to become a team that's not satisfied with playing a good team tough. We've got to find a way to defeat a good team, and we're making strides. And there's all kinds of variables that you could talk about, and they sound like excuses, but we've just now gotten back to the point where we're getting everybody at practice because of all the quarantines and the 2-week layoffs and everything else we've had to endure. And then one of our starters, Isaac Heim, finds out just 2 days ago that he's out for 14 days in another quarantine. We've just it's just one little thing after another that's kind of throwing us off rhythm. But everybody's going through it, so you can't use it as an excuse.
Right.
But so I guess what I'm trying to say, all that rambling just simply means we're playing some really, really good basketball teams down to the wire. We were essentially down 4 to Wrights with 5.5 minutes left and ended up losing by 19. We lose in overtime at Linton, who's number 1 team in 2A. We have the ball down 3 with Lagodi, and we get a pretty decent shot off with about a minute left, and we get a charge called on us. And and then against North, we had the lead going into the 4th quarter, and just once again some careless turnovers, some missed shots. Just ended up dooming us, and we just down the stretch just find ways to shoot ourselves in the foot and not win, and we've got to find a way to correct that.
One thing too, also when you get into tight games like this, it's almost you have that go-to guy. As far as like the go-to guy is going to get the ball in the right person's hands, or you'll hit that shot. A lot of times you can say, is that the leader of the team? Talk about what leadership is important to a basketball team and where our team needs to get to that point.
Well, the most important thing you need down the stretch is you need a coach on the floor. You need somebody who's going to make sure everybody's in the right position, somebody who's make sure everyone's pulling in the right direction. But like you said, we also need not necessarily a go-to guy, but we need guys on the floor that are going to finish.
Right.
We're either going to get to the foul line or we're going to knock down an open shot, and we just failed to do that. Late in this game, for example, Tanner Ernie takes a pretty good three from the left wing over there, and it's in and out. I mean, I don't know how it came back out. It was late in the game, down 3 with about under a minute left. Isaac Day takes a nice 3 from the corner, and once again the ball, I feel like gets into the rim, below the rim, and spins back out. And,
where he just hit one a little bit before too.
So some of it is just the breaks. Those are tough shots. The best players in the state hit 4 out of 10 of those, and so it's not a high percentage shot. So we got the looks that we needed when we needed them. We were in a position to win late in the game, and I guess the case in point, we missed a shot. I believe with the game tied, or maybe we were down 2. But we missed a pretty good look, and the guy there's actually Tanner Ernie's miss.
Right.
The ball comes out. A North kid gets the ball, gets the rebound in the paint below the volleyball line, looks up the floor, hits a kid and they get a layup on the other end.
Easy layup. Yep.
And there's just no excuse for that.
Right.
And we know that we have guys fill on the top, and that guy fill on the top. If somebody flies, they're supposed to go with them. And our guys fill on the top. We just stand there and watch the play. Then we go, oh, there's a guy down there, and we take off. Giving up that easy transition bucket in that point of the game is just a mental error. It's not a physical error; it's a mental error. And so, those are little things that we have to correct. The good news is we're going through these growing pains right now. We're learning these things early.
Right.
So hopefully it pays dividends second half of the season, and especially then for next year as these underclassmen that we're playing a sophomore and several juniors. They're learning from these things now, and it does help us down the road. But that doesn't make you feel better today. When you're 1-5, you feel pretty bad, and you need to find a way to get out of it.
And obviously in a difficult season like this, with the virus and everything that's going on with it, you got players coming in and out. I mean, now we finally got Connor Foley into the action, Gus Heichelbeck. So talk about what you're able to do to get those guys in the lineup and how they've been playing for you.
Well, Gus, I think, was our leading scorer tonight with 16 points.
Right.
And that's what Gus can do. We'd like to get Gus in a little bit better shape. Now, he was quarantined at least twice, and then we had the 2-week layoff as a team. So, he's barely had 10 practices.
Yeah.
And so, but he needs to get himself in a little bit
better shape. He's showing you what
shape.
he can do, as far as
he can hit the bucket. He can shoot. He's great with his body around the post. And we have, by the way, and that's another thing, we just have done a really poor job in these first few games. And there's no excuse now that Gus and Connor are back because they have a little more height. We just do a horrific job of feeding the post. We'll have those guys, and Gus especially. I mean, he's a big, thick kid down there, and he'll have his guy pinned on his butt, and our guards don't have the courage to throw it to him. And we've got to be better at that, because I think the difference in it being tonight, too, is we didn't get to the foul line. I think we shot 5 free throws tonight.
Yeah, not many.
And they shot 19.
Right.
And I think they outscored us by at least 11 or 12 points at the foul line.
Yeah.
So when you lose by 5 or 6 points, whatever we did, that ends up being a big factor. But we're not getting to the foul line because we're not going downhill enough. We're not feeding the post and getting into the paint with the ball enough, and going to that rim and drawing that contact. And we've got to get tougher and be better at that.
Another thing as far as like feeding the post and getting it to a big guy, he's got to get in good position down there as well.
Right, and that would be my biggest complaint about Connor Foley. Like, he got his first career start tonight. And, man, he's 6'5". He can run. He can jump. I know that there's some Division I interest in him in football, I should say. And he's a man among boys out there.
Right.
And he's a beast. And I think the only one in the whole gym who doesn't see it is him. And I would like to see Connor be more assertive. I'd like to see him go in there and post up fundamentally and be big and be strong and demand that basketball and go to the rim with it. And he doesn't have that mentality right now. And we're trying to get him convinced. And, we've been trying actually since he was in middle school to get him to understand that when he decides to play, there's few people that can deal with him. And he shows moments of it, and we just need him to be more consistent about it.
Right. Well, and everything, obviously, with the season like this, you got to kind of condense games as well. And, every night we play a conference game, it's a huge game. I mean, it's a great opponent and all that. Same thing with the county opponents, too. And we got Southridge coming in Tuesday.
Right. And, Southridge, I don't care who they have. It's never an easy game. We could be twice as good as them, and they're going to play well because it's a rivalry game.
Right.
And now that they've got Colson Montgomery playing again, it just makes it pretty difficult. I think he put in 27 last night, Friday night in his first game back.
Yeah.
And so, we don't have time to hang our heads and be depressed about being 1-5. We have to keep working and try to fight. The best way, in my experience, that I know to ease pain is to get the next win.
Right.
And this is a new experience for me too. I've been really, really blessed and really, really fortunate in my career. I think after 5 games, I know I look back. I think after 5 games, I think the worst my teams have been is 3-2.
Really?
So we've been really lucky.
Right.
And never been in this position. And
Yeah.
I think the frightening thing is we have good kids, and they're going to work hard. They're going to stay positive.
Right.
But you end up 1-5, then you got to find a way to stop that bleeding.
Right.
Because if you go 1-6, 1-7, 1-8, what you look at as we're playing Southridge, Bossy, at Washington next week, that's a statistical chance to do that.
Right.
Then you wonder if you lose all confidence. You can't
Yeah.
help a kid maintain his confidence. And but my hope for these guys is they realize how close we are. Man, we're
Right.
so close.
We
The
are.
teams we're losing to are really good teams. We've got to be tougher, and we've
Right.
got to make plays down the stretch and be a smarter basketball team. And if we'll do that, we'll start winning these games. And this 1-5 start will be a distant memory. And I think
Right.
if you look ahead at the sectional, for example, my guess is the 2 favorite teams in our sectional, 2 of them at least, are going to be Wrights and North. And we've had chances late against both of them,
Right.
and didn't capitalize.
Yeah.
So we're not out of the hunt. There's
No.
no reason to hang our head. We've got to find a way to capitalize and find a way to get some W's.
Well, I'm sure we'll find one soon.
We're working on it.
All right, good job. All right, well, Coach, I appreciate it tonight, and again, a 1-5 team that I think is very competitive and playing some good ball at moments, but like you said, just got to find a way to finish.
Yeah, we will. I agree with you. We're going to get there. It's a learning curve.
All right. Well, thanks, John.
All right, thank you,
appreciate it.
Craig.
So the Jasper Wildcats, another tough one tonight, but again, playing very competitive basketball against an Evansville North Husky team that is now 8-2 on the season, and the Wildcats have dropped to 1-5. And again, just a quick rundown of the scoring here. I was trying to get that added up before John came and talked with us, but leading scorer for tonight, 27 points for Ryan Cadle. And let me make sure I got this right. It was 16, 20, 23, 25, 26, actually 29 points. That's right. He hit 2 free throws down there at the end. So 29 points for him. Chandler Moore had 15, so those were the 2 leading scorers for the Evansville North Huskies. And for the Wildcats, kind of going down the list here, Isaac Day with the double-figure night with 12 points for him. Tanner Ernie with a double-figure game again tonight. He had, 9, 11, 13 points for him. And off the bench, Gus Heichelbeck with a big night. So he finishes with 16 points to lead the Wildcats tonight. But Connor Foley had 6, so he had a nice contribution in his first start. But again, Coach Gable talking about just trying to get those big guys to get down and position themselves down in the blocks so that we can start feeding them for even more easy buckets down there. So Wildcats again will be back in action on Tuesday against the Southridge Raiders. And that basketball game will be right here at Jasper High School. And the Evansville North Huskies will actually take on Evansville Wrights next weekend. So for Jason Stom and Jeremy Marcos on the video, Jasper falls to the Evansville North Huskies 65-59 here on 18 WJTS. Good night.